go.
This is an overview of Showmark's new Digi-Payoff unit. It's a programmable system for paying off or feeding very fine wires, filaments, or tubing into a process such as an extruder, an annealing oven, a coating or cleaning process, anywhere where you have a very delicate material where you need to let the process pull the wire into it, but control the back tension to 10, even 5 grams if needed. This one is set up with a dancer system here that has a nominal range of 10 to 70 grams of control. So what I'm going to do is we just powered it up. I'll show a couple basic settings in here. It's got a few ways it can operate. One is where you're having to pull the material to the process and kind of connect it into it on the fly. And there's a couple ways to do that. Another is you have the leisure or benefit of being able to just take your end, connect it to the process before anything's moving, and then this will just start controlling tension as soon as the process begins to pull it. So looking here at our operator interface, we have a 6-inch touch screen where this is the default screen that comes up when you power up, and you've got 3 buttons on there. I'll go through them. First is settings, and right off the bat you'll notice that some of the settings buttons are ghosted, and so you need to unlock those in order to access them. You can actually run it with them locked, and that could be a good advisory role type thing or administrative type control. But to unlock it, press your unlock button. It'll prompt you to confirm you want to unlock it, and then it prompts you for a password. You can make up a password. We give you instructions for doing that in our manual, but by default we have no password in here, so you just press enter, and now everything is unlocked. So I'll go through the screens, and the truth is there's a variety of settings you can make in here, but you really don't have to make most of them for the most basic tension control, which is the majority of the requirements. So you do have the ability to put a speed in here, but the system will vary the speed as needed to maintain the tension that you want. But there is a mode where if you're stringing up on the fly and you know that your process is already going a certain speed, you can enter a speed into this, and it will start out at that value and maintain that until you turn over control to this on a tension basis. So right now though, I'm not even going to enter something in there. If I wanted to, I can just press on the field, brings up a keypad, I can make an entry. I'll put something in there just to demonstrate. So we have 10 RPM in there right now. The truth is it will be ignored when I do my demo here. The next thing is a length, where you can enter a desired length. The system does count or measure length, and we have a lighted beacon on the back side of the machine, a red and green beacon. While the machine's running, it'll be green. We're stopped right now, so it's red. When you hit the length target that you can enter into the screen, the machine won't stop, but that green light will start flashing just to alert an operator that the length target has been reached. The fiber diameter or wire diameter, is the diameter of the material you're running, and the system uses that number to calibrate the tension measurement. So that's a good thing to put in there. The next screen is just your desired tension, and I'll put in here for now 20 grams. You're also able to change this on the fly once you are running. The next screen is a spool diameter, which is the starting diameter of your spool that you put on here at the beginning of a run. And that's an important value because the system uses that in order to have good tension control right from the get-go. So you do want to enter a value into there. Spool settings 2 screen here. These are some settings that affects the performance of the machine. We have some ideal values in here now that will give you some good response to changes in the tension in the pull. So you may not want to change those on your own, but they are available to you. The gain is the responsiveness of the servo system in here relative to changes in the dancer position on the tension sensor. The next screen is for jog settings. You have the ability from the operator interface here to manually turn your payoff spool if you need to for any reason. That would be the speed that it turns when you go into the manual mode. So those are all the settings on here. I'll go back to the main screen. Manual adjust is just that that ability to jog this spool here. So I'll press it. You'll see it's turning at that setting that I had. I can just stop it. Going back to the main screen, the final screen is your run screen, obviously your most important. And here's where we go to initiate the control of this system. And let me go through some of the basics of the design of the machine. First of all, the supply spool is driven by a servo motor. It's a brushless servo motor, and it's responding to feedback from our pivoting dancer arm. You'll see the path of the material in a moment. It'll go over this guide wheel around this one, and this one has a length measurement sensor behind it. So we're tracking length by measuring fractions of a turn of that wheel. The material will go through the dancer as needed on its way to a take-up process. And if we pan over to the left there a moment, you'll see we're going to use one of our other machines to simulate a pooling process. That's one of our moving take-up units. We don't need to talk about that any more than that, though. Okay, so I'm going to go here. You can see on our run screen, we've got our target values that we've entered into the previous setting screens. Again, there's that speed, but it's kind of ignored if we're going to go into tension mode right from the beginning, which is my intent here. And here is our length setting, and I can change it right from here. I can put in here, let's call a target of 25 meters. And I can also change my desired tension. Let's make it 15 grams. Okay. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to simulate pulling my material off of here while it maintains tension. That's all going to be by hand at first. I'm going to manually attach it to the process over there, and then turn the process on. So I'm gonna get a free end. I'm going to loosen my hubs here to allow my spool to turn a little bit, and I'm gonna pull my material. This, by the way, is 250 micron diameter bare fiber optic wire. But my path is over the top wheel. Make an S turn through the length counter. The pattern around the dancer is important. We want to go around this first wheel that has the silver dot on it, around the next one, and then across our last pulley. So now I'm going to retighten my hub on my spool. I'm going to shift over to this side. And I'm ready to initiate tension. Ideally, I want to have the dancer, I can control this by pulling on the fiber. I want to match fairly closely to my target so that we don't have too abrupt an adjustment that needs to be made once I initiate the machine. So I want to go into tension mode, press tension, and now wind. It'll prompt me whether or not I want to reset our length counter, so I'll say yes to that. And so we're on now. And you can see it's, as I pull on this fiber, it's letting it come off and maintaining that 15 grams. Okay. And also you see our beacon turn green just to alert the area that this is running. So I can pull this, and you can see it's just automatically feeding it out, maintaining our tension. I'm going to string it up onto my tick-up process. I'm just going to use tape to tape it onto here. Okay, and we are ready to go. And you'll notice, right now we're set for 15 grams. If I change this value, say we go to 25 grams, you'll notice the dancer, as soon as I press enter, will make an adjustment. And that's how responsive it is. So we'll leave it at that for the moment. I'm going to start my pulling process over on this side, and you'll see that the payoff will respond as needed. If I want to, I can change my tension on the fly. Right now it's 25 grams, I'll go down to 20. When you're within a couple grams of your target, your actual field will turn green. When it's, I think it's 5 grams or more away, it turns red. So you don't want to make too large of a change to this at a time. I'll change it to 15 right now. Okay. You can see, by the way, our beacon is flashing. It's because we reached our length target of 25 meters. It won't stop because that's not the purpose of this. But it's just letting somebody know you've reached a target. If I stop the process over here, the payoff automatically stops. It does whatever it needs to maintain your 15 grams. Okay, I'll start up again. We can go very slow if we need to, or much faster. I'll give a little more tension. Let's go to 20, go to 25. You saw it turn red momentarily while it adjusted. Let's go to 30. Okay. And if I really speed up, you can see we're still doing a good job. You can see our actual RPMs of the motor being displayed up there in the top column. Slow down. Oh, if I want to, I can reset my counter by just pressing 0 right here. It'll prompt me to make sure I want to do that. And so now the flashing has stopped. A couple other things. If this comes to a stop, first of all, just stopping because the process stop does not change our beacon. But if I stop it literally using the screen, then it turns red. It will also start flashing red if we get a fault. And a fault could be because you had a break in your material, or the material ran out, or if you just try to go too fast for the system. That's it. That's the Showmark Digi-Payoff.